Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. Um but yeah, I'm back and I'm here to share my testimony. This is so hard for me to do, because I never thought that I would do something like this. But you know, things have been really hectic. I think everybody can just attest to that, with the COVID lockdown and having this pandemic has really forced us to reflect. I've been really self-reflecting ever since the lockdown. For me to come to this point where I just realized that yes, the COVID and this pandemic has very has implications on our lives. It's been kind of a life-changing event, and everything that's been happening in my life has just been, I just have so much clarity on it now, and I just want to share my story. And yeah, I'm sharing my story just to give someone hope if you're going through a hard time in your life, if you don't understand what's going on in your life, if you're just miserable and you don't feel like there's any hope for you. I really suggest that you watch till the end, because guys, honestly, even if with the bad effects of COVID, I think everybody has had a chance to just reflect on our lives, reflect on who we are, reflect on just the world in general and where we fit into the world. And that's exactly what has happened to me. On a personal level, I really thank God for this time, because it really has given me time to just be honest with myself and fix the stuff that were just chaotic in my life, basically, and just really just like, it's like a purge, like I've just been purged of everything that was weighing me down. Like, I feel like this was the time to really just, there was no other time, this was my time. And I just want to share my testimony, how Jesus saved my life, how God has really been good to me. God is alive, guys. God is real. God is good. God is for us. He's not against us. He's for you. And if you only surrender to him, he will really come through for you, just as he's come through for me. So yeah, grab some tea, grab some coffee, grab some snacks, and let's just have a real talk. So I'll start by last year. Last year around August, I lost my grandmother from my mom's side, and that event really shook me somehow. We didn't really have a very close bond, but she was someone that was always around. So when she passed away, it shook me, because I started noticing that I just started drinking a lot. Like, I used to drink so much, which I'll still tell a story on that, but just to give you clarity that yeah, I started drinking way too much. But this time around, guys, it was really bad. So after her death, and after I think around October, I went to live in Johannesburg. Yeah, that's where I went to stay. And while I was there, I was living with my boyfriend at the time. How do I put this? Like, yeah, I just fell into a very bad depression, You know, I just started drinking a lot. And in Joburg, you know, you can even, the alcohol is easily accessible. We can even order it online. So my routine was just waking up in the morning, do what I do, and then just sit and drink the whole day. I would just drink like crazy. My boyfriend would get up and go to work, but I would stay behind and just drink. And there were days that I really couldn't get out of bed and just drink. And I would ask myself, like, I don't understand where this sadness is coming from. Like a very deep sadness, guys. Like it was a lot. But because I was one of those people who couldn't deal or who couldn't confront a situation, you know, head on and ask myself and be real with myself, like, why am I so sad? You know, I've been depressed before. I know what depression is, which is another video that I would like to do. But this time it was different. You know, I just wanted to stay in bed the whole day. I started drinking way too much. And I just started, I don't know, I just really was in a very dark place. I can't explain it. I've never felt that way before. That's why I'm saying that I've been depressed. But that time it was like, I just kind of had these thoughts of, okay, I've lost a lot of people in my life, but I don't think I've ever grieved for the people that I've lost. I don't think that I've given myself time to just process my emotions. I'm one of those people, you know, I'm a roller coaster. I go from high to low all the time, but this time I just knew that I'm really sinking. I wouldn't shower. I was just a mess, like a complete mess. And things went on like for that whole month. And then in November, Mac called me. They were like, yeah, come for an interview, blah blah blah. I got the job. And then at least after I got the job, things just started getting better, you know, not really completely, but I had a distraction, you know. But when I'm off, that same feeling, that darkness, that dark cloud just came over me, guys. And I just find myself being so demotivated, angry all the time, upset, not being satisfied really. And I was like, what is going on? You know, I just had no idea what was going on. I just started something that I really enjoyed doing. You know, things in my relationship were also a bit rocky, because I think at that time my boyfriend could realize that, no, like, I have a problem, you know. And we just started fighting out of nowhere. We just started not being okay. So those things really just weighed me down, and I was like, there was no way that I saw myself as the problem. I just saw that, you know, I'm just heavy all the time. Like, my heart is so heavy. I'm not happy. I don't feel fulfilled. I just didn't know, like, where to go and who to talk to, even because I'm in a totally new environment. And I'm just that person that used to be very closed off, man. I wouldn't really be able to open up to anybody. And I was just really lost, if I can really just say that. Even at work, I used to like start fighting with my colleagues, you know. Things were just very strange. As I started fighting with my boyfriend, as I said, to a point where he kicked me out. I had to move out. I had to find my own place. Things were just heavy for me, guys, since, like, let's say from December. January came, same thing. Just started drinking very excessively. Chaos, just a bunch of chaos was happening. One colleague of mine, you know, she was like, you know, I can, like, she could see something was not okay with me, but I feel like she didn't want to really like tell me openly. You know, some people, you know, we like, you know, when like a prophet, I think she has a gift of prophecy. So she was like, you come from a family that thinks like you just make your own decisions, like you're just living this loose life. I think that's what she said, and I didn't really pay attention to it at that time. And yeah, life just went on. I just went on the day to day, struggling, trying to figure out my life. And one day I was just like, I'm tired of this. You know, I'm tired of me being like this. I'm tired of me chasing things. I'm just tired. Although I really love my job and I found my passion, I still feel very unhappy. You know, even if there's people around me, I still feel alone. You know, even when people were around me, even when I had, you know, things, I still felt very, very unhappy, very unfulfilled, very lost and confused. And then one day I just went to my boss and I was like, you know what? I am so tired. I think I want to resign because I really don't feel happy. You know, I love working here. Don't get me wrong, I love my job, but there's just some things in my life that really at this moment don't make sense. And I feel like I'm really getting to that point of being very depressed. And she was like, you know, I could see there was something not right with you. I could see like you were suffering in silence, because I'm that person. I really suffer in silence. You know, I would rather deal with my things on my own, because I feel like nobody understands. I feel like nobody would get me. Nobody would get what I'm going through. So what's the point of just opening up? Even my own boyfriend, you know, I didn't talk to him about stuff. I would, but I wouldn't like get into detail of my day-to-day emotions, because I just felt like, you know, everybody is going through a lot. I mean, I'm not special. I cannot be coming with my own BS. Meanwhile, people also have their own heavy crosses to carry. You know, I'm just that person. You know, I just feel like my emotions are insignificant to what other people are going through, especially when it seems like you have it together. You know what I mean? But that was just my life. It was just a total emotional turmoil. Yeah, one day I was chilling with this group of guys and we were drinking, and you know, the conversation that we had just struck me, you know, like the way we were talking about people, you know, we're talking, you know, the way we were just talking about people was very bad. Like we were really just sad people, you know when they say misery loves company, that vibe. And I just knew that this is not for me. You know, the way we were talking about people, bashing people, and I just, you know, it was like an awakening, man. That wake up, you know, this is not who you are. I don't know why you try so hard to fit in. I don't know why you try so hard to be something you're not. You know, you're not that person. You are not this. You know, these can't be your friends. Because I'm that one person, you know, I really like deep connections. I really love people who I can connect to on a more deeper level than being superficial. But at the same time, it was like, because, you know, people would tell me like, yo, you're so pretty. Just because you're pretty, you kind of have to like fit into this box of being superficial. Meanwhile, I really wasn't, and I wasn't being true to myself. That's why I was having so many, like an emotional turmoil, because I really was not being true to who I was. I was the person in public. I'm the person that people want me to be, but deep inside, my true self just was like crying for help. Like, save me from this miserable person that you present yourself to be. that, you know, that you have to numb yourself with alcohol, you have to numb yourself with things, you know. I even started smoking, you know. I used to smoke before, but then this time I just started smoking again, something that I thought that I'd never do ever again. And also just drugs, alcohol, sex, all those things were just consuming me, man. Like nothing was satisfying anymore. I just wanted more and more and more, but I didn't realize that I was just really killing myself. You know, that's why I was maybe feeling so depressed and so down all the time, because it didn't matter how much I had of things, you know, like it didn't matter how much I had, I still just was not satisfied. I was not happy. So that night I had to go and see a client. They wanted me to do their makeup and see my work. So I asked these guys that we were chilling with that, can you guys just take me to this club? I have someone to meet up. And they were like, okay, we bored anyway, so let's go, you know. We get to that club. Hey guys, this club is like a lounge, but like, I don't want to judge people, right? But it just really seemed like a prostitution joint, if I can say that. And the people that I was with, they were like, we told you, you know, that this place is really just that place where when you're drunk and you want some ass, you come here, you know. So that night I waited for this girl. This girl was the host to that club that night, and she arrived there with her entourage, you know. She was like, no, you know, I already did my makeup, so you can see this place not really a place where you need that face beat, you know. So I'm glad you came though, you're so pretty, let's just have a good time, you know, let's just enjoy ourselves, you know. So, you know, they brought out the alcohol. Hey, there's my girl enjoying now. I'm even forgetting that I came with people, you know. So these people were also just part of the vibe. They were enjoying themselves. It was a vibe, but it wasn't really nice. It was just like because we were drinking and there was music, and that was it. And they were nice girls, you know, but not really nice girls, just girls you take home to, yeah, those type of girls. So we there. These people that I came with, they were like, no, let's go, you know, we want to leave now, you know, we have had enough, this place is not popping. And then I was like, no, I'm still chill. Now I'm drunk, you know. I'm like, no, I'm still chilling with my girls, you know. And the fact that I didn't live far from the club, it was like, I'll just catch an Uber, it's fine, they can leave me. So they left. I stayed with these girls. Mind you, I don't know these girls, you know, I just met them that day. There was this one girl that was quite close, like close to, you know, when you're drunk, you have that bestie, you know, all of a sudden, even if it's a stranger. So something like that happened. I met this girl. We were waiting for the same person. So we just started bonding and talking, drinking together, dancing. And then, like, time to leave. It wasn't really time to leave, but I got so drunk. And I think that girl could see that guy, like, Kushubi Lila. She was like, let's go, you know. I think I want to leave. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving with you. And then she called an Uber. All I remember is getting into the Uber and driving off, you know. But I was so drunk. Maybe I fell or something. I think I fell, but I can't really remember. So we left. We got into the Uber. And she was like, okay, so are we gonna first start with you? And I was like, actually, I don't feel like going, because I was at my boyfriend's. I was like, I don't feel like going there. Can we rather just go to your place, and then I'll leave in the morning? Because it was a really morning hours. It was like 4 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, okay, cool, that's cool. So we drove, we went to her place. When we got to her place, the security guard didn't want to let me in, and I don't know, was it because I was way too drunk or what was it, but he didn't want to let me in. And I was now so upset and so disappointed that I came all this way for nothing. But then she went into a place and I just had to like return to the Uber, and I told the guy, okay, just drive me to my boyfriend's place, you know, it's okay. But then I got into the car and that feeling just came over me again, that darkness, that sadness, that, I don't know, that hole, I call it a hole, a black hole, just wanted to swallow me. And I just started crying. I just remember starting to cry hysterically, like, and then I passed out, like I blacked out. But obviously the blackout, and I'm still crying, I'm still talking, I'm still like alive, but I'm dead at that time. I don't know what's going on. I wake up the next day. Here I am. My clothes are off. The clothes that I was wearing, my makeup is off. I'm next to my boyfriend. I can see he's very, very disappointed. He's like, what happened? And I just started crying again because I know that I'm in trouble. Maybe I did something wrong. I just started crying. He's like, no, like, you have a problem, and if you don't see that you have a problem, like, I don't know, I can't help you. I've tried to help you, but this time, like, I feel like you really have gone too far. So I charged my phone, only to get so many missed calls from my mom, from my cousins, from my friend, and I'm just like, what the heck happened? You know, all I remember was getting back into the Uber and I just started to cry, but I don't really know what happened in between those times. And you know, before even that, before that whole incident, I just knew that I had an alcohol problem. Like, I used to abuse the substance, like I really did. But in my mind, people drink like this, people party like this, people drown their sorrows because it's so normalized, you know, it's so normalized in society that alcohol is so readily available. People binge drink all the time, people go to clubs and have to come out there sloshed as hell. I don't know, in my mind it was normal. But when I'm confronted with a situation or when I've embarrassed myself the previous night, I don't really reflect. I just kind of sweep it under the cup and be like, it is what it is. Shit happens when people are drunk, and that's just what it was. So that night, that day, actually, my friend calls me. He's like, are you okay? You know, you called me last night and I'm very concerned about you. You know, the things that you were saying were very disheartening, and I've never seen you like that. I've never experienced you like that. What is going on? I know you have your episodes, you know, but yesterday was a lot. And he told me the things that I told him, very deep things. Ultimately, he was like, you know, you wanted to kill yourself. And I was like, what? You know, one thing about me, guys, you know, yeah, I go through shit, but I've never been suicidal. I've never been someone who wants to take their own life. You know, life has challenges, yes, life has ups and downs, but if I had to come to that point where, you know, they say that words of a drunk man is the truth or are true, I just knew, because I had been feeling like that for the longest time, but I just couldn't be honest with myself, and I couldn't get myself to open up and be like, you know, I really am tired. I don't want to live. That's just how I felt. And when he told me that, I really like had to get a wake up call, and I just needed to really get to that point where I was honest with myself and be like, instead of numbing this pain, instead of not dealing with the root of my problem, if I don't change, if I don't find a solution to how I'm feeling, I'm ultimately gonna kill myself or do something stupid, or get myself in situations where ultimately it leads me to my death. And I remember going to work that following week, and I put in my resignation, told my manager that I'm done, effective immediately. I just woke up one day that during that week, and she tried to talk to me, maybe just take some time out and stuff, or are you gonna be okay, things like that, because she was worried. She's like, the situation that you are in right now is very bad, and I know people who are in the same situation as you, but they don't have jobs, and you have a job. Why would you want to leave? And I was just like, I'm tired. There was nothing anybody could have told me at that time to stay, because I knew that I had to really look at myself in the mirror, and I had to really self-reflect, and I didn't need distractions, because once I get distracted, I don't deal with the root of my problems. So I just knew that I am done. I just didn't want anything, so I resigned. And I just knew that I'm coming back home. It was like I was led by something to really just be still. Sometimes God wants us, chaos happens in our lives not to harm us. Or yes, maybe we might lose our material possessions, we might lose our jobs, we might lose whatever it is that we're holding on to. But the moment you let go, the moment you be still, and the moment you analyze your life in that moment of stillness, because sometimes really God wants us in that moment where we are totally isolated, totally alone, totally stripped bare of the things that we are holding on to, or the things that are weighing us down, to really reflect and dig deep. What is this? Why are you feeling that way? Why are you feeling so miserable? Why are you feeling so sad? Why are you suicidal? Why are you having negative thoughts? Or why do you feel like your life is not worth living? So it was really like a force from that time. It's like, stop running. Stop running. What are you running away from? Whatever it is, it can be conquered. Whatever it is, we can deal with it, and we can go through this together. You don't call upon me, you don't seek me. That was what God was trying to tell me. Like, you need me. You think you need money, because those are the things that motivate us. We want money, we want status, we want friends, but the people and the things and the environment that I was in, yes, it might have seemed fancy, but it still did not make me happy. It still did not give me fulfillment. It did not resonate with me, because I was like, but this is not who I am.